ears, noses, or mouths. Don't be fooled. They can see, hear, smell, taste, and feel. Let their plenty sensitivities inflect your own. Tune into the different ways they do time, learn to follow their tempos and rhythms. Pay attention to the ways they defy all too human notions of individuality, bodily integrity, subjectivity, and agency. Let the plants redefine what you mean by the term sensing, sensitivity, and satience.
We are separate from nature. That nature is separate from us. That nature is for us to control, to colonize, to dominate, to use. That we are separate from more than human. But we are a part of nature. Nature is part of us. There is no separation. We are connected to the more than human. Our are not the only voices that matter. They are not the only voices we can hear. There is no separation. It is not possible to draw a line between what counts as us and what does not count as us. We make sound together. We make our worlds together. We make our futures together. We dance together. I can ask, who is the we in this story? We can hear the voices of the air, of plants, of bodies, of light, of the waves of radiation that surround us, of the particles floating through the air we breathe. We can hear the earth breathing. If we listen.
tackle climate justice in more than human worlds by Blanche Vernon. Breath is an enlivening, more than human, transcorporeal practice through which air and breathing bodies collaboratively and continually make and remake one another and the world we inhabit. Technically, breath is the process of moving air between the internal body and the external atmosphere. And respiration, the cellular process through which living organisms use that air to convert matter into energy that their bodies can use. For almost all multicellular life, plants, animals, fungi, etc., respiration requires oxygen, and carbon dioxide is created as a byproduct and returned to the atmosphere. Thus, while respiration occurs in individuated and always locally and historically situated bodies, breath enmeshes each body with the planet's atmosphere, and thus each and every other planetary body through their transcorporeal exchange and manufacturing of gaseous matter. This makes breath both situated and distributed, and something that is always differentiated even as it speaks to our common embodiment as cellular earthly beings. As the process of energizing, breath is crucial to processes of ongoingness, as well as to change and becoming. End of quotation. As you breathe, you exist in a state of entanglement. The idea of your body being an isolated and closed entity is an illusion. Let this thought sink in with a few deep breaths. Try to conceive of yourself as open, permeable, and in that sense, vulnerable. Try to visualize the process of exchange that happens with each breath that you take. Embrace this permeability and your vulnerability. You're not just exchanging oxygen or carbon dioxide to generate energy. You're also ingesting tiny particles of dust, pollen, other kinds of gas. Some of those get stuck in the fine hairs within your nostrils. Others travel further down your throat. Some of it may end up in your lungs. In this city here, you will ingest the fine dust particles from the nearby traffic or the smoke from someone's cigarette. Some of it will stay within you, become part of you. It might even change you or make you sick, perhaps. You were never pure or unpolluted. Purity is simply not an option.